Fear is what keeps us stuck and unhappy in life. It stops us living our lives to their full potential. But what if I told you there was a simple but highly effective way to change how you see fear that will set you free? In this video, we will talk about what fear is, what triggers it, and most importantly, how do we overcome it? So, if you're eager to break free from fear's grip, stay tuned. Hey there, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Nidhi. I'm a corporate leader turned hypnotherapist and life coach. In my channel, I talk about everything related to personal and professional growth using both your conscious and subconscious mind to help you get to your next level. Right, let's dive straight into how our body perceives fear. You may find it interesting that our bodies perceive fear and excitement both as the same. When our bodies experience fear or excitement, they react in similar ways because our brain sends signal to release certain hormones like adrenaline. These hormones cause physical changes in our body, such as making our heart beat faster, increasing our breathing rate, and giving us a burst of energy. So, from purely a physical standpoint, our body's response to fear and excitement can look pretty much the same. However, what sets fear and excitement apart is how our brain interprets these bodily sensations. Our brain acts like a control center, processing information from our surroundings and deciding how we should feel about it. When our brain perceives a situation as dangerous or threatening, it labels it as fear. This triggers the fight or flight response, leading to a feeling of anxiety or apprehension. On the other hand, when our brain sees a situation as thrilling or enjoyable, it labels it as excitement. This leads to feelings of anticipation, enthusiasm, or eagerness. So while our body's initial reaction might be similar for both fear and excitement, it's our brain that ultimately determines whether we interpret the situation as scary or exciting. Let's take an example to explain. Imagine someone going to a tattoo artist to get a tattoo. They might feel really excited about it. When they see the needle, their body might react with a faster heartbeat, faster breathing, and feeling more energized. This is kind of like what happens when we're scared. But here's the thing. Because they're excited about getting the tattoo, their brain sees these physical reactions as excitement instead of fear. They might feel really eager and happy about getting the new tattoo, even though their body is reacting similarly to fear. Now, let's think about a different scenario. If the same person had to go to a doctor for a blood test and saw the needle, they might feel scared. In this case, their brain sees the needle as a threat, which makes them feel anxious, even though their body is reacting in a similar way as before. So, whether we feel fear or excitement isn't just about our body's reaction. It's mainly about how our brain interprets those reactions based on how we feel about the situation. So, if we want to overcome fear, we need to learn how to change our brain's reaction to it. But first, let's try to understand what fear really is. Fear is normally our worry about the future. Between the past, present, and the future, we're always worried about the future. You see, the past has already happened. There is nothing we can do to change it. So, it isn't the past that we fear. It's what could happen in the future that causes us fear in the present moment. People generally fear what may or may not happen in the future. So basically, it's our imagination of what may be that is causing the fear. And as the future hasn't happened yet, we base fear on probability, not reality. So we choose to suffer about what doesn't actually exist in reality because we aren't rooted in the reality. So to overcome fear, it's important to remember that we're fine in the present. Allow me to explain this using an example. Imagine you have a public speaking event coming up and you have to present something. As the day approaches, you start feeling nervous and anxious. Your heart races, your palms sweat, and you have a sinking feeling in your stomach. These physical sensations are your body's response to the anticipation of the presentation, which your brain now interprets as fear. Now, let's break it down. Physiologically, your body reacts to the upcoming presentation by releasing stress hormones. This causes physical changes such as increased heart rate and sweating, preparing you to either fight the perceived threat by giving a successful presentation, or flee from it by avoiding the presentation altogether. However, it's your brain that decides how to interpret these bodily sensations. So if your brain perceives the presentation as a potential threat to your reputation or career advancement, it labels it as fear. This triggers feelings of worry and anxiety about what might happen in the future, such as embarrassing yourself or receiving negative feedback. But here's the catch. The future hasn't happened yet. So your fear is based on what could happen rather than what's actually occurring in the present moment. It's your imagination of what may be that's causing the fear, not the reality of the situation. To overcome this fear, it's important to ground yourself in the present moment and remind yourself that in reality, you're okay. Most of your fear about the future stems from not fully understanding or feeling competent about the situation. Now let's come back to how do we change how our brain reacts to fear. And most important thing to remember here is that everything comes down to the words we say and the pictures we make. You see, our subconscious cannot differentiate between real and imaginary, and that's great if we know how to use it to our advantage. For example, let's revisit the scenario of the upcoming public speaking event. Now, instead of dwelling on thoughts like, I'm going to mess up or everyone will laugh at me, try changing the narrative. Use positive affirmations like, I'm prepared and capable, or I'm excited to share my ideas. Visualize you're telling your family after the event how good your presentation was, how everyone in the audience was excited to hear your ideas and applauded. Your boss congratulated you afterwards on doing a great job, and your colleagues thought you smashed it. You see, by doing this, your brain now thinks, oh, Nidhi actually enjoys speaking or presenting in public. So there's no need for the fight or flight response. So the bodily reaction must be down to excitement. By consciously choosing empowering words and creating positive mental images, you can reprogram your brain's response to fear. Over time, this practice can help you build confidence and resilience, making it easier to face challenges with a sense of excitement rather than fear. So remember, fear holds us back, but we can overcome it. Our body reacts similarly to fear and excitement, but it's our brain's interpretation that matters. Fear often comes from worrying about the future, not what's happening right now. To beat it, we need to focus on the present and think positively. By changing our thoughts and imagining success, we can train our brain to see fear as excitement. So let's embrace this power and unlock our full potential. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me bring more content like this to you. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care.